Joe Biden will decimate your retirement plans. Now, I know that's a bold statement, but stay tuned because I'm going to explain it to you.
From Philadelphia, the home of the Liberty Bell, Financial Freedom Radio starts now. Here's your host, Raymond Jewell.
Good morning and welcome to financialfreedomradio.com. I want to thank you all for coming and downloading, watching. We'd like to have you like, share, and subscribe to our podcast, or I keep getting this wrong, our video podcast. We work off referrals, and it's very important to us to spread the word, especially what you hear today. If you like what you hear, then do nothing. But if you don't like what you hear, then you need to tell other people. And I'll explain it. But let's check in with our illustrious producer, Steve. How are you, Steve?
Good morning, Dr. Ray. How are you?
I'm good, Steve. How are you? How's your weekend?
It was a good weekend. I'm telling you, it's fun being in front of the camera from time to time, but I'm certainly glad to have you back.
Oh, thanks for filling in for me. I appreciate it. I was away for a couple weeks, and what we're doing with these shows, just so you know, uh, if I go away and are not able to record the shows, Steve likes to come in with what we call nut and bolt, bread and butter, budget type finance issues. And it's good because he's actually running a system for himself, and he's doing it very well, and is very successful at it. And so we like to give you a break, but give you some nut and bolts. And then if you really just want that, let us know, and we'll figure a way to
Right.
provide more of that.
Yep.
But he always accuses me of getting too heady. And
Well,
so he likes to bring it down to the level that he likes.
I call it strategic and tactical, right? Strategic is your long-term vision, your long-term plan. Tactical are the baby steps you need to get there.
Yeah, you're not going to like what I tell you today.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm just very happy that you're back, and I think our fans are happy that you're back.
Great. Oh, now we got canned laughter and sound and applause and all of that.
I've been playing it while you were gone.
So I was doing my reading on the internet, and I came across this article, and it said Biden's dramatic change to retirement accounts could reduce their availability, and the industry is warning about it. And so his dramatic change to retirement accounts could reduce their availability, even get rid of them. And so I want to go over this article that I got. It was in the Washington Examiner, but we really need to know these things, and nobody's telling us about them because the media, the fake media, doesn't want us to know. But let's dig in here. Former Vice President Joe Biden's presidential platform includes a tax proposal that could force some employers to abandon offering retirement options to workers, and the industry is warning against this. The plan would dramatically change the incentive to save for retirement by replacing the current deferral system with a tax credit. Now, this is funny money here, and zero in on this. Most retirement plans, such as 401ks and IRAs, allow taxpayers to delay paying taxes on contributions to their accounts until they retire. By suspending this tax until retirement, workers have been able to grow their nest eggs beyond what they would have been if taxes were paid in the year the money was received. Now, this plan does not lay out a tax rate for a credit, but it says that they're looking to tax at anywhere from 26 to 30 some percent of your 401k or your IRA program. Then Then they want to give you a tax credit to take it back up to 90 some percent. So they're always going to whack you for a small percentage if they have a tax credit. But tax credits come and go, they can go away. The fact that they have even made uh, a notion to start to tax 401k and IRA plans will devastate this retirement field. Right now, pension plans are are done away with. The old pension plans that were around years ago, there's only a few companies that have them. They've converted all to 401ks and IRAs, and the 401ks, they give you a match so that they can put some money in there, but they don't have to fund these old fashioned pension plans. So they made that shift away from it. So younger people don't have the old fashioned pension plans that gave you a specified income. And then you would have a 401k on top of it. Those are not around anymore.
When did that
So,
change?
oh, it's changed drastic or dramatically over a period of time, like 20 years or 30 years, starting in the 60s and on up to present day. There's still some around,
Because I'm pretty
but
sure I still have a pension.
you still have one. Yes, you do.
Okay.
But those aren't around. That is a
My kids
uh,
are not going to have that, is what you're saying.
that's right. That's right. And they're thinking they can save into a 401k and they can have have it uh, pre-tax. And then when they take the money out, they'll pay ordinary income tax on the money, but they want to tax it up front to because they need money into the coffers of the government.
Are they planning on
Instead,
taxing it up front and when you withdraw it, or just up front?
so far just up front.
Okay.
But they want to give you a tax credit back. So if you have $100 and they take out 32%, $32, they want to give you back 26. And you scratch your head and go, what is this all about? Well, follow the money. If they give you back 26, maybe they're going to give you back in the future 20. Maybe they're going to give you back 10% or $10 on 100. So now they're able to control your money. Right now, they have no control over it, except the only control is growing it because you don't you don't get to spend it until you hit age 59 and a half. And then when you spend it, you have to pay ordinary income tax. Most people defer it till they go and retire. So this is a step for them to get inside of your retirement plan and be able to control it because then they can raise the taxes. They can, uh, and they'll give you this. Well, we're going to raise your taxes, but we're going to give you a tax credit. That puts when they raise the taxes, it puts money in the coffers right away. And when they give you a tax credit, that's adjusted on your end of the year tax statement. So they'll get money right away and then they'll pay a little less in taxes because they'll get a tax credit. And it's all funny money.
Well, it's not funny money
Because
when it leaves my account.
that's right. That's right. It's real money when it leaves your account, but they're manipulating it so that they can control it. So they're fooling you into thinking the tax credit they're giving you the same thing. They're fooling you to think that they're going to tax your money and take it right away because they're going to pull that out as you make that deposit. So if you put money in your 401k, remember you don't put it in all at once. If you put money in every month and whatever you put in, they're going to tax. You don't adjust it till the end of the year in the tax credit scheme. But the tax credit can go away. Follow me?
Yeah,
Does
but
that make sense, Steve?
there's no guarantee that the tax credit will go. I mean, I think that's kind of a doom and gloom. I think you're right. I think it could potentially go away, but
right now, I mean, the thing that really bothers me most about this is the fact that they're taking money from me now, and they're gonna take money from me every single month, but I might get some of it back potentially, maybe in a year. That's the part that
Yeah,
really
but
chaps me.
look at the tax credit again. I now, Biden, is wanting to start to tax your 401k and your IRA.
No, I get
That's
that.
a huge leap right there.
Yeah, I
And
totally get it.
so if they're able to pull this off, they will have created a taxable system within your 401k, which wasn't before. It was tax deferrals. They have a taxable system in the Roth IRA, but the 401k has a bigger pile of money they can go after. The tax credit that they're talking about, oh my goodness, we had a bad year, or our budget is out of whack. We're going to have to take away the credit for this year. They can move that credit whichever way they want. So now the government has control of your money more so than they've ever done before. And they're doing it under the premise of taxing your retirement plan. Now, look at the retirement plans that are offered by companies. Do you think the businesses are going to put up with that? Because now they got to pay, they got to withhold the taxes. Do you think they're going to put up with funding a retirement plan and putting in matching funds into the retirement plan? They're
Yeah,
not.
no,
They're
they're
going to
not.
just drop them all together and you're on your own.
Yep.
And there's guidelines in what you can put away and what you can't put away. It's opening Pandora's box. And these people that are for Biden are going to wake up and they're not going to have any money. Now look at this. This is, if you have somebody in a 10% tax bracket. Now, the tax bracket is whatever you're in. They're not just going to blatantly tax. It's going to be whatever you're in. So if you've got somebody in a 10% tax bracket and they're getting 26% credit, they're making money, aren't they?
Yeah.
But those people are in a lower tax bracket for a reason. And the percentage of them are a lot less than the percentage that are in the area that's going to get taxed the most. So what they're saying is they're going to tax it whatever the sliding scale is for the income you have. Remember, Joe Biden said, I'm going to raise your taxes. And these are ways that he's going to do it, because he needs $4 trillion, and God knows what else he needs for this new Green Deal. But I'm sticking with this right now. The Retirement Advocacy Group, AARP, recently proposed the policy as an option to promote retirement savings. Whose side are they on? AARP. You got to be, I think it's 50 and older to be a member of AARP.
Yes, because I got to join a couple of years ago.
Whose side are they working for? They are one of the most liberal organizations around.
Corporations
So under
proved
the
a long time ago that they were working for themselves. I've yet to find a corporation that's working for the working man.
Well, look at how they distributed money when they brought in all this money from outside the country into the coffers. That's another story. Under the Biden plan, that $100 would be taxed in the year it was earned. So a taxpayer in a 32% tax bracket would pay $32 in taxes of $100, meaning that $68 would be invested in a retirement plan. That right there is enough to scare the crap out of you. And if people vote for Biden because they just hate Trump, suck it up. Trump has been working for people for 4 years. The economy has gotten incredibly strong under Trump. we had this virus thing that nobody had any control over that, but everybody wants to blame Trump and the corruption that went on in the Democratic Party. So if anybody is planning on voting for Biden, you're going to put your retirement plan at risk. And if you don't care, you shouldn't be listening to this show. But if you do care about your money, this is one reason to stay clear of the leftist Democrats, because they will move into taking your money at warp speed. So under the current system, $100 would have been invested in the retirement accounts. Biden's plan would be advantageous for low-income workers, as I said. For example, a taxpayer in a 12% tax bracket investing $100 in a retirement account would receive $114 after paying taxes and receiving the credit. But
They're
that's
making
not
money.
the norm. Yeah, that's not the norm. And that is going to be looked at and whacked. See, it's all about, their whole mantra is all about raising the middle class, but they're raising the lower middle class and milking the middle class. Trump has worked real hard to build up the middle class, but they want to tear it down in lieu of the lower middle class.
Doesn't
Nothing
it all?
wrong with
Go ahead.
Nothing wrong with being lower middle class, and you can work in the middle class. But for Pete's sake, don't be that. Now they're talking about whacking the rich, and now they're talking about whacking the middle class.
Doesn't it seem to
Get
you
it?
like they're trying to raise the lower class and lower the middle class, so there is only really one class? There's the ruling class, and then there is everyone else. I mean, that's what it
Yeah,
feels like
that's
to
what
me.
I
It's
just
like the
said.
poor people are going to get more money. The people who are barely making ends meet are basically going to be giving it to the poorer people, and then you're going to have two sets, which you would have had two sets of people. You're going to have one set of people who's living off the, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, you're
And
right.
none of these rules applies to Congress.
No, not that I know of. And the ruling class is working real hard. And think about what they do. They talk about problem. They create lies. It's the Saul Alinsky playbook. They create lies, and then they take these lies and they actually want you to believe them, and they sell them so hard some people actually start to believe them because they hear them so much. It's, feed a person enough garbage and they're going to just love eating garbage.
Wasn't it George Orwell that said, keep telling a lie until people realize it's the truth, or something to that effect?
Yeah, yeah. You keep selling that lie. And I mean, you've got the media. I mean, we, no secret, I'm a conservative libertarian, but the media is pushing real hard to get you to believe that. I don't know what the percentage of the media is versus the or the left media versus the right media. I don't know what that percentage is, but it seems like it's coming at you from all directions. They're talking about all these polls and everything. I mean, how in the world did in 1 week all these battleground states go from Trump to Biden in a massive way? That's physically or statistically impossible for that to happen unless you're weighting the polls. So one of the things that's important is to understand what is happening, and they're going after your money, folks. This is Financial Freedom Radio. You want to be free? Get those people out. Get rid of them, because they're going after your money. This new Green Deal is going to cost you trillions of dollars. And I don't care what they say, no, or they'll lie to you. But it's a blatant fact that the Bernie Sanders people want that thing. And it's going to cost money. And they got to get that money from somewhere or run up massive debt. And your personal pocketbook is their target. And they don't really care about the poorer people. They just want one class or two class, them and you. And they want to try to get rid of the wealthy people. They've been hollering and screaming about getting rid of the wealthy. Wealthy people fuel the economy through jobs. If you don't have a job, and not a government job, that's not a wealth creator. A government job does not create wealth. It just passes money from one place to another. You want to create jobs and create wealth and create businesses. And wealthy people put their money into further growth of businesses. And a lot of wealthy people, people that work for them, spin off and go into their own entrepreneurial direction and become their own business. But you put you stop that, and you're going to have, you're going down the path of communism and socialism. Right now, we're more socialist than we were 50 or 100 years ago. But that can very quickly morph into a group of people trying to control everybody. And you're going to see people fleeing the country, and money is going to be leaving here in buckets. So anyway, I want you, it frustrates me to hear this kind of stuff, because I just don't like people being taken advantage of. And so when these politicians, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, out and out lie to people, and people end up believing it, I get upset. You may not like Trump, but Trump is not a liar. They've tried to make him out to a liar, and they've very successfully done this. And they very successfully have driven the narrative so hard that you've got to be really strong not to fall prey to it. And we've got, I think, 27 or 28 or 26 days before an election. And now they're talking about rioting in the streets if they don't win. I mean, how crazy is all of this? We need to get a chokehold, and I shouldn't say that because that'll come back to haunt me, but we need to get them under control so that people can live a good life. I'm hoping the middle part of this country and these battleground states are just, the polls are showing people that pay attention to polls, and most people don't. I'm hoping, and most people are Trump supporters, but we'll see. But if you want to lose your money and you want your employer to cash out on your money and turn that over to you and not even fund it and say, we're done with these plans, we don't want any part of it, excuse me, then vote for Biden. If not, if you want to control your wealth, vote for Trump. So let's wrap this up. Thank you all for coming and downloading. We'd like to have you like, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends. We need all the help we can get to get people into this system, to hear this information, so that you don't get fooled by the financial institutions, by the left-wing politicians, and maybe some right-wing, and you understand the big picture. So I want to thank you all for coming. Take care and have a great week, and God bless you.
Thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe to the podcast. If you want to learn how to create real sustainable wealth like the extremely rich people do, or maybe you just want to sustain the wealth you already have, you need to check out Dr. Ray's new book, Why the Rich Are Rich. Ray's been coaching clients for 35 years and has completely unlocked the secret strategies that rich people use day in and day out to grow and sustain their wealth, regardless of what's going on in the economy. His book is completely free, and you can get it by going to whythericharerich.com and entering your email address. Again, that's whythericharerich.com. Head over there now.